Mr. Edit Man presents, what was the most embarrassing moment in your life? A few years ago, while I was still in the military, I was involved in a moving accident that injured my left knee and my lower back. When I went to the base hospital, the doctor ordered a series of X-rays, so I went down to radiology. I was taken to a small changing room and told to disrobe down to my underwear, and that a lab tech would bring me a gown. So there I am, sitting in my boxers, when someone knocks on the door of the changing room. The person at the door was a very attractive lady who told me that they had no gowns available. She said that they could reschedule this ray, or I could do it in my underwear. Due to the way I was injured, I decided that this ray's cold not wait. So I walked from the changing room to this ray room in my underwear. The lady led me to this ray machine, which was a flat table with a giant machine over it. She told me to lay on the table. So I did. Then another very attractive lady came into the room and started moving my legs around, so they would be in the proper position for the X-ray. After she was done moving me around, she put a lead vest over my upper torso and a small elite shield marked gonad shield over my groin. As she was positioning the gonad shield, she looked at the other lady and asked, "Is that metal?" She was referring to a series of decorative metal studs on the waistband of my boxers. They tapped the studs a few times and decided that they were indeed metal. The second lady looked at me and said, "Sir, you cannot wear anything metal while getting in X-ray. Would you mind removing your boxers so we can continue?" I was embarrassed as hell, but they were being very professional about the whole thing, so I did as she asked. I removed my boxers and got back into position on the table. She went to put the gonad shield back on, but it kept falling off since the flat surface of my boxers was no longer there. She tried several different ways of positioning the shield, and this went on for at least 2 minutes. I tried to ignore it, but I'm not made of stone. After 2 minutes of her fiddling with the gonad shield, I started getting an erection. At first it was not obvious, but after a few seconds, it became very obvious. Her face turned bright red, but she kept her cool and finally got the shield to stay in place by leaning it against my erection. Then things got worse. 6 other ladies walked into the room. One was the head radiology tech, and the other 5 were students training to be radiology techs in the military. The 5 students were giggling like crazy, and the head radiology tech was telling them that erections are a natural reaction, and that I could not help it. After a few minutes of that, they finally took the rays. I have never been more relieved to get dressed in my entire life. My senior year of high school, I played the Snow Queen in my ballet company's Nutcracker. The costume was a beautiful, all-white number with the full-on tutu endpoint and everything. One of the lifts I had to do for the pas de deux was like this, except the bent lower leg was straightened. So I was basically doing the splits, and my vagina was facing the audience. I had a tampon in, but lucky me, I thought I would not need to put a pad in the tutu itself. Yeah. Halfway through, apparently I started bleeding through the tutu, the white tutu, and then I did a lift with my bloody crotch facing the audience. My entire family came to that performance, and they were sitting in the first few rows. I did not know until I got off stage and my teacher pulls me aside in the wings and whispers, "I think you got your period. Commence hyperventilation." Luckily, the costume lady got the blood out right away, in time for curtain call, and all my other costumes had black crotches. But the best part? That was the night they filmed for the DVD of the performance. To sum it up, hundreds of people have my bloody crotch on DVD forever and ever, and that is my period horror story / most embarrassing moment. I had gotten a speeding ticket the day my grandmother died, and despite telling the officer, still got a ticket. I went to traffic court with my dad hoping to get out of it. So there we are waiting on the wooden benches alongside 30 other people, hoping the judge will hurry up. My dad leans towards me like he's going to tell me something, and rips one. It echoes off the wooden bench, drowns out everyone's talking, and the voices go silent. Each and every person in the room has their jaw drop as they turn around, too uncomfortable to laugh. Without skipping a beat, my dad throws his hand in fear and yells, "Whoops, guilty as charged." I got up and sat in a completely different row as he explained to the woman he just released his gases on that the older you get the harder it is to hold in. It's just natural. To sum it up, with the help of Troll Dad, I got out of my speeding ticket. The reason why I have no shame to this day, when I was 18 years old I had just graduated high school and was invited to go to my best friend's family lake house that had just been finished a few weeks back. I had ridden with my buddy and his brothers, so keep in mind I had no way of getting back seeing I did not have my car and this was 4 hours away from home. This was everyone's first visit to the house. My best friend's entire immediate family, including his 2 incredibly hot sisters. I was the only non-family member there. Well, about 3 hours after getting their nature called, and I had to bust out a number 2. Well, it just so happened to be a massive dump and the toilet got seriously clogged. And guess what? No plunger. Brand new house. Also, what nobody knew was that there was also a leak in the plumbing. After clogging, the brown water started leaking through the ceiling onto my buddy's hot sister's beds. It was horrific and everyone was freaking out. My friend's dad ended up plunging my own mess with his bare hands while I just stood there mortified. I then proceeded to walk out to the dock and sit with my feet off the edge for the next 2 hours. I can honestly say I no longer have the ability to get embarrassed ever again. To sum it up, went to friend's brand new lake house /his family. Flooded toilet and bathroom. Malarkey water leaked through ceiling and ruined hot sister's beds. Dad plunged malarkey with his bare hands. One time, in 4th grade I believe, I was completely out of clean pants to wear, not wanting to be late for work. Since she had to drop me off at school before going, my mom miraculously pulls out a pair of the shortest shorts I had ever seen, much akin to the ones teenage girls love to wear today. I should probably mention that I'm a guy. Anyways, I complain about the shorts being too short, and she says it's fine. I get to school, and for the next 6 hours get made fun of for wearing short shorts and girls' shorts. Absolutely humiliating. Cool thing is later that day I wrote in my diary, "Lol diary. Today I wore shorts." I still have that diary somewhere. My high school graduation. About 500 or so graduated. My name starts with A, so I'm one of the first to go up. My name gets called, and instead of going up to receive my diploma, I run down the center aisle and vomit. My high school graduation. It's kind of a ritual to get absolutely hammered the night before. I had work the night before, unfortunately, so I did not get to the party until like 12 AM. Started drinking. Did not stop until lunchtime the next day. I remember doing a shot in the bathroom just before we had to go to our end assembly. After that it's just one wobbly blur. The video shows me and 8 other mates slowly rocking back and forth in the line. Imagine a really straight line of people starts wobbling uncontrollably. Then the mate closest to me threw up into his hat. Of high school. Oh, I have got one. So back when I was about 17, I had a family member who required home care. I was home one weekend, and it was laundry day, and so literally every item of clothing I owned was in the wash, with the exception of a pair of flannel pajamas, which I was wearing. The home co-worker, who had been giving my dad a bath, suddenly came out of the back room wringing her hands. "Nickipins, it's an emergency," she said. "We're all out of adult diapers, and we need one right now." Great. My laundry was still wet, and will not be dry for another 45 minutes. So I realized I was going to have to go in my pajamas. Then I realized that my mom had a car. So not only did I have to wear the jammies outside, I had to walk. So I gritted my teeth, grabbed a couple of 20s, and headed out to the store about 3 blocks away from home. When I got to the store, the cashier told me they were all out of big grocery bags. The diapers will not fit in the small one. So there I was, walking down a main city street in broad daylight, wearing strippy flannel pajamas and carrying a huge package of Depends. I have yet to top this incident. I was at the beach with a family friend. This particular friend has 3 kids. Her twins were 2 at this time, and her other daughter was about 6. I took the kids to the edge of the water. I had a twin in each arm and the 6-year-old was close beside me. They wanted to go a little further in, so I decided it'd be okay to going up to my knees. All of a sudden, a giant wave comes and knocks the 6-year-old over. Desperate to stay afloat, she grabs onto my bikini bottoms and pulls them straight down. I cannot put the twins down, so I have to guide her out of the water and back to the sand. Bottomless. Everyone got quite a good show that day. I walked into an awkwardly quiet room and asked who died. Some girl's dad, apparently. You're an unfortunately excellent getter. Same thing happened to my friend, but even more specific. He was always late for our Spanish class. It was right after lunch. Our mutual friend had not been at school all day and came in for the last period. God only knows why, just for the last class, and explained that her grandmother had passed away earlier that morning. She cried up until the bell rang and kind of got control of herself, but the room was very somber. My friend comes in a minute last, looks around at everyone being quiet. We were a very social class, and asks how's grandmother died? Our mutual friend burst out crying. Literally the only time in my life I have wanted to laugh and show sympathy at the same time. I was at a party at a friend's place and overheard his girlfriend saying something about how her brother got burnt. I figured he got sunburnt. Did not think anything more of it. Later in the evening, the party dying down, I happened to be sitting in a group of people with my buddy's girlfriend in it. As a conversation starter, I threw out, "So, I heard your brother got a little hot under the collar." Not a very good conversation starter, but I was drunk. It was the best I could manage. The entire rest of the group turns to me and their jaws just hit the ducking floor. Buddy's girlfriend was speechless. From the reaction I got, I just killed Bamba's mom and raped Thumper for an encore. Apparently, when she was saying her brother got burnt, she meant he tried to commit suicide by lighting himself on fire. He was in the ICU with severe burns right then. So yeah. Sometime in the 30 seconds after I said that, that was easily the most embarrassing moment I have ever had. 3rd grade, Alaska. I was a notoriously tardy student. Mom would get me out the door on time, but I was easily distractible and would just get interested in stuff on the quarter-mile walk. In fact, my 2nd grade teacher once called my mom and told her, "The class and I have been watching was bang for the last 30 minutes. Walk from the corner to the school, looking at every twig and pebble on the way." In 3rd grade, I was determined to get to school on time. I woke up really early. I crept downstairs. I made myself some cereal. I got into my snow suit all by myself. I made the walk to school and I had a full 30 minutes on the playground before the school bell rang. Ducky air. It was glorious. Of course, upon entering the school, you must remove your snow boots and snowsuit and hang it in the hall. I did that ... only to reveal that I had completely failed to change out of my sky blue pajamas with red and blue pinstripes. It was too late then. I entered class and sat, mortified, for the whole school day, at my desk, wearing my pajamas. When I was about 8, I was waiting for my mom with my brother outside her office. We started playing on a nearby staircase, rolling a ball down the handrail to see if we could get it to roll all the way down without it falling off the edge. After succeeding with a tennis ball, we raise the stakes and try to do the same with a quarter. After succeeding with a quarter, I say I'll sit at the bottom of the stairs in front of the handrail with my mouth open, and you roll the coin all the way down and ramp it into my mouth. On his first attempt he nails it. The coin goes flying down the rails, ramps off the short straight section of handrail at the bottom and flies at my wide open mouth. Coin connects with front tooth. Front tooth breaks off. I accidentally swallow front tooth. Awkward car ride home after mom completely and utterly lost her malarkey at us. Throwaway account because it's too embarrassing. Way back in the 80s, my girlfriend and I each purchased something for the other at a Frederick's of Hollywood. I bought her something stupid, like crotchless panties, and she purchased me a banana hammock. We went home eager to try on our new gear, but try as I might, I could never get the whole beans and franks in the thong. Either the frank and one bean or just the beans, but no frank would fit. I was quite proud of myself. The next day I took my undersized thong back to the store to buy the King Kong size. Or whatever. When I explained my dilemma to the ladies behind the counter, they started laughing hysterically. Then they pointed out that it was a girl's thong, not a guy's. I slinked out in shame. I was 13 years old, playing my first year of Little League Baseball. One game, I could not find the pants for my uniform, so I wore the only thing I could find, tear-away track pants, the ones with the snaps all the way up both legs. At some point during the game, I went up to bat and hit a soft grounder out to the second base area. As I started running to first base, the troll snaps on my track pants gave way, my pants fell down and got tangled up around my feet. I started hopping the last few steps to first base. Everyone in the whole damn ballpark was laughing uncontrollably. The second baseman was laughing so hard that his throw missed first base by a mile. The first baseman was laughing so hard he could not get to the ball to pick it up. I hopped all the way to second base long before the ball got anywhere close. I swear the pitcher was rolling on the ducking ground laughing. My coach called a timeout and walked out to second to help me untangle the pants from my feet. We could not get them back onto me, and I had to stay on base pantsless. People did not stop laughing until the next batter stepped up to the plate, and did not stop snickering until he'd run the rest of the bases in my shorts. Ever since, whenever someone mentions baseball around me, someone unfailingly brings up "Hey General_Derez. Remember that time you were running the bases and your pants fell down?" To sum it up, ran bases, pants fell down, other team dies laughing. Hop to second base and run rest of bases without pants. You have made it until the end of this video. Now listen here, and listen here closely. Like and subscribe for more curated content by Mr. Reddit Man. Thanks for watching.